got flat tire. I'm going to show you how to diagnose what's causing it to be flat. Need air, so put air in it. Now we don't have a flat tire. First thing to do is listen. No obvious leaks. I'm going to spray soapy water around the bead right away. See fine air bubbles. I'll bring you over and show you. See the air bubbles popping up, and if you don't believe it, wash them away and see the new ones coming up. See the foam starting here, building here, and the foam building here. Let's turn it over on the other side and see what we got. While we're testing, we're going to test that air valve. Spray on it. See the bubbles? Actively bubbling up, actively bubbling up. So it's leaking all the way around this bead. Get corrosion on it. We're going to take care of that first. Then after we get that sealed, we'll check the tread itself. I find that on lawnmowers, because they sit around so much, this leaks more than this. It's been sitting a few minutes and you can see the foam really foaming up on it everywhere. So it's definitely leaking around that seal. Taking a valve stem remover, just, I don't know what they cost, not much, $1, $2 at the auto parts store. Removing the valve stem out of the air filler. Save that, you're going to need it. Put it someplace where you won't knock it off on the ground like I do. This really would be a lot easier on the ground where it was stable. Helps. You can see the beads going down. There, it broke free. And you can see it breaks free. On these tires, there's a recessed area. Here's where the tire seats. Then it recesses up into here. So you push that down in to there, and then you can pull it out. And I'll show you that in a minute. I want to break loose the other side. Get my bushing back in there. There it goes. It pops through pretty easy. I'm going to grab a couple screwdrivers. Be right back. Doesn't really matter whether it's a regular or a Phillips. Remember I told you about the recess in that? You want to shove that side down in the recess and pull this up and pull it up over the top. You can see how it's flipped up over that edge. Flipped over the edge. We're going to work our way all the way around the tire doing that. Got to get down past it. If you take too big of a bite, it gets hard. So we're going to go less and go here. Even less. Going there. There we go. Now we can pull this one out because it's 20 years since I've done one of these. There we go. There it popped off. Okay, now we got that side. You can see how rusty and nasty that is. That's the reason I'm taking it all the way off, because it is rusty. And it's bent up on this side. And I'm going to straighten it up. So, similar thing applies. Putting in this recessed area, the edge of tire here, then I'm coming up on this side, doing just the opposite. Popped up. You can see all the garbage on there, and you can see all the garbage coming out of the tire. Goodness. All the rust that's in the tire. You can see that. This thing is very, very dirty. We're going to clean it up. And I am going to straighten it up. I bent it a little bit. I'll have to get a ball peen there to straighten that up. I'm going to the wire wheel. I'm going to just run this right around that wire wheel. You won't be able to hear me once I get it started. So let me get my safety glasses on, because that tends to throw wires out. Here we go. There we go, now we got some light. I've got some primer, and I am going to, while I've got this so it didn't rust all up again, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some primer. Probably should let that dry, but I'm probably not going to. It's going to get to dry as long as I'm still working on this tire. I'm going to clean the tire up too. It doesn't really need much. I have seen them scaly, and this one's not torn up. The damage what you can do when you're shoving this screwdriver in here is down here on this edge. Doesn't hurt if you hit it down here much, but you definitely don't want to get it on this outside corner. And we're in good shape here. We got some scale on this side, so I'll lightly just scrape the rust off of it. And take the rag and wipe it. Get back to hopefully bare rubber. And we're still going to do one more thing to make sure it's sealed up and doesn't leak there anymore. This is wheel bearing grease. Doesn't really matter what kind you put on. I'm not going to put it on yet because it's going to be a greasy mess trying to put that wheel back on. So I am going to leave it go until I get the tire back on it. I'm probably going to be messy enough just getting the tire on it with the wet paint. Of course, if you weren't impatient like me, you'd have a brain, you would just wait. Doing it in just the opposite order that we did. I'm going to shove it down into that corner. Alright, rinse and repeat for the other side. nut down in there so that the spindle rests and the wheel sets flat, make it a little easier. And I am going to put some soap on this side, which I should have done on the first side. You'll see all the mechanic shops do that. It makes it that works a lot better, getting leverage like that. There we go. Dented the rim just a little bit right there. It's springtime. Okay, this is where it sat flat all winter long. Kind of crunched the tire. I hope it's not leaking from there. Taking this grease, just putting it on my finger, and I'm rubbing it on the seal. I don't know if you can even see that. I don't know that I can get it where you can see it. Rubbing it on the flat part and this lip. Years out of them, I hope. Okay, let's try air. I don't have the valve stem in yet. Keep your fingers away from here and here. Keep them on top. Oh, it won't put air in it without the stem in the center to push to indent. So I'll put the stem in it. Sometimes getting these to seat is difficult. You want to work your way around, and as you can see, it's not taking air. Just do it like that. Try to keep it in the middle. Go all the way around with it, and that splays out the edges, and I think it'll air right up. You just got to be careful not to put too much air in. There it goes. Most tires say right on the side of them, the max pressure. This says the max load is 430 pounds at 28 psi. So let's see what we got. I am at 17. Oh, you know why it wouldn't fill up? My regulator's turned down. I was using it to spray. spray lacquer on my guitar. And normally it's coming out of there at 100, and I couldn't figure out why that was. That is 24. That is 26. We're going to call that good enough. We're going to try the valve stem first. Make sure that isn't leaking. Better not leak now, because I don't want to take it back apart. I'm pretty confident it won't. There's soap bubbles from actual spraying action, but you can see it's clearing up over here, and you let the soap run around. There's no active bubbles coming up. Try not to spray it so hard so it doesn't bubble. No bubbles, no leaks. Wipe it off. Now I'm going to go around the tread just once while I got it, because it would upset me if I got there and I go to cut the grass next week and this thing's flat again. There's a spray pattern. Well, there's some definite slits and cuts in the tire. But there's nothing so far. And this is soapy water, as you know already. It will bubble if there's a leak. What's that? Not a leak. Nothing. Uh-oh. I think that's just air bubbles coming out of the dirt clod. Clean that. Let's see if that's nothing. Go around it one more time to see if any bubbles have developed anywhere. Dry it off and I'll go put it back on the tractor. Now you're probably thinking, I'll just take it to the garage, and you can. The difference is they won't take that tire off. They'll just break it down a little bit and smear some grease in there and seal it up, and it won't leak. It might last forever, but it might last not to the end of the season for 2 weeks and it leaks again on you. Now I know my wheel will last a long, long time because I primed it, got rid of all that rust. Not perfect, but I increased its lifespan dramatically. And I got a good tire that should probably last the life of that lawnmower. Have a good day.